Right now is Florida Congressman, member of the House Armed Services, Foreign Affairs and Intelligence Committees, Michael Waltz is here. Congressman, it's great to see you this morning. Thanks so much for being here. What are your expectations for the Blinken trip?
Thanks, Maria. Yeah, I don't know what the objectives of this trip are, except to have our Secretary of State go on bended knee. Yeah. And my question is, what more do they have to do, right? I mean, they're harassing our planes. They're harassing our ships in international waters. They've already violated our sovereignty with the spy balloon. And now we've got this flip-flopping on a spy base right on the southern coast of Florida. So in Havana, I mean, what more do they have to do for us to say enough is enough? Here's what has to occur before you get to sit down with our Secretary of State as a precondition for talks. But this administration is just desperate for diplomacy's sake, and our adversaries continue to take advantage of it. And the signal it sends to our allies that they can get away with all of this, and yet we still come over on bended knee is incredibly damaging.
Well, Congressman, what is your role and the role of the Republicans? Because I got an email from a source earlier. He said, look, we were all expecting that the new Select Committee on China, or the House Republicans in general, would be punishing Biden if he moved toward appeasement of China. That's exactly what we're seeing. And so far, it's just turned out not to be true. Almost nothing has passed. OK, you've got TikTok. You've got Republicans on China, TikTok, hearings on COVID, even the effort on monitoring investment into Chinese companies that are sanctioned. That hasn't happened either. So where are the Republicans in Congress standing firm to communist China?
Yeah. Well, look, I think you're going to see the defense markup this week and next week coming up in our new in our defense bill. It's not the number I would have liked, frankly, but it will continue to push, to modernize, to push into hypersonics, to shift our ships to the west, and to push our logistics out there that we can support ourselves in a way and to hopefully deter Chinese communist aggression, and to continue to arm Taiwan, Maria. But you're right. We are facing a tsunami of espionage. The China Select, I'll give them credit, is putting a spotlight on a lot of that. But we need to pass tougher measures, particularly clamping down on outbound investment flows. We keep waiting on the administration and Yellen to pass this executive order that will clamp down on that. I think we need to take a much tougher line, and I expect Chairman Gallagher will do just that.
Yeah, and because I think we all need to recognize the elephant in the room. There's a reason that communist China has become as powerful as it is, and the reason is the United States, because the U.S. sent all the production of everything we buy over to China, and also allowed all of investors everywhere to invest in Chinese companies that are tied to the military, even those that are on entity lists and sanctions. Yep. I mean, it's absolutely outrageous. But I want to get your take
Maria,
on... Yeah, go ahead.
Look, there's... Very quickly, no, there's legislation moving to tighten those entity lists. Yeah. There's legislation moving to bring our supply chains back home, but we have to do it smartly. Washington to do more damage than good half the time. But we are pushing, Maria. I hear you, though. Let's push harder.
Yeah, look, I mean, when you have a guy in the White House who might be compromised, it's a problem. So we're going to get to that in a moment with the Comer investigation. But I've got to turn your attention to Iran, because the Wall Street Journal is now reporting that the administration is quietly restarting diplomatic talks with Iran. They're hoping to free American prisoners and stop the country's growing nuclear program, while Iran is pushing the U.S. to lift sanctions trapping their energy revenue, Congressman. We broke this the other day on Sunday Morning Futures with John Ratcliffe, who was outraged that the notion that the administration is going to send billions of dollars to Iran. What is Iran doing with the money? They're buying weapons from North Korea to sell to Russia. So let's not sit here and tell us that this administration is hoping Ukraine wins if you're sending billions of dollars to Iran so that they can send weapons to Russia.
And, oh, by the way, they have attacked Americans or our allies in the region over 70 times just in the last few years. So, again, where are the preconditions to have the privilege to sit down with the United States, much less have us unfreeze assets around the world? stop the attacks, release the hostages, stop sending drones and other military equipment into Russia, and then let's have a conversation. But it's the other way around with this administration. It is constantly a concessions first, appeasement first, get them to the table, and our adversaries continue to take advantage. And I have real concerns over what this non-deal deal or this informal deal that's now being rumored. That needs to come before the Congress in accordance with the law.
Yeah, John Ratcliffe broke the news when we spoke with him on Sunday Morning Futures. Here's the former director of national intelligence.
They want to send $17 billion to Iran, who, by the way, is Putin's #1 backer, sending Iranian one-way attack drones to be used against Ukrainians. So only the Biden administration could do something so colossally stupid as to be funding Ukraine to fight the Russians and then funding Iran to arm the Russians in the same conflict.
So all this taxpayer money going to Ukraine, I mean, and we're also supporting Russia through Iran. A new report from the Financial Times, Congressman, says that the U.S., France, Germany, and the United Kingdom are pursuing an agreement to formalize the current level of military and financial aid for Ukraine. I know you're planning to introduce legislation so the U.S. only provides aid to Ukraine that's matched by France and Germany.
That's right.
Walk us through this.
Well, look, we're calling dollar for dollar or dollar for euro. The United States right now is providing 2/3 of the military aid, despite the fact that EU and U.S. economies are the same size. It's unacceptable. This is right on Europe's doorstep, and France and Germany in particular have promised a lot publicly, but when you look at what they've actually delivered, it's a fraction of what they've promised. So not only are we looking to say, you know what, we're either going to pull back ours to match what Europe is doing, or Europe has to step up to us. But then when you look at the non-military aid, there need to be some caps on that and some real guardrails. And right now, once again, the administration is out there making a lot of promises when Congress controls the purse strings and will have a major say in what kind of funding goes forward.
I mean, the amount of money that we're sending there is really at this point being questioned because it is depleting our own military wherewithal. Then we've got this president who everybody's questioning, well, not the mainstream media, of course, not 1 second on this incredible investigation of your colleagues into the Biden influence peddling. Not 1 second of coverage from the mainstream media, by the way, Congressman. Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer sent out a new subpoena for the Biden family associate Devon Archer to appear for a deposition tomorrow. Comer is also subpoenaing bank records related to Hunter Biden's relationship with a Russian oligarch. We know that oligarch, Miss Baturina. Baturina sent Hunter Biden a check, what, for $3.5 million? What was that money for, Congressman? Where does this stand in terms of Biden's and his business dealings and how they may be impacting his policy decisions?
Yeah, and Maria, let's just remember a couple of things. Devon Archer is the son-in-law of John Kerry. So not only did all of these nefarious actors have access to the sitting vice president with responsibility for China and Ukraine, they also had access to the Secretary of State, and we know that he met multiple times also with the vice president, who says he has no understanding, no knowledge of his son's business dealings. It's garbage. It's BS. The American people see right through it. And, man, these millions are really adding up. And it's not like they're coming from New Zealand or the United Kingdom. It's Russia, Ukraine, China. It's all of the, I mean, all of the most questionable, corrupt countries in the world that mean us harm. And so good on Representative Comer. This is where Republicans, I mean, think about, Maria, all of the things we would not know if Republicans hadn't gained the majority in the House in just the last 5 months of what's been exposed.
Well, that's right.
And this is just the tip of the iceberg.
We would not know any of it. And by the way, thank you for reminding me of Devon Archer and the son-in-law there. That is incredible. You have to question all of their motives and leadership in America.
who still has an office in the West Wing and is still running around the world doing climate diplomacy. I don't think for a second when he goes to China, he's only talking climate. I don't buy it.
Of course. I'm not buying it either, Congressman. It's good to see you this morning. Thank you so much.